Moving along, I'm going to ask Tim Enfield to come up and talk about his program, Think Alive. A lot of this has to do with helping to inform all of you what programs and opportunities exist for our children with special needs. It's really difficult to navigate the world out there and especially find out opportunities for our kids because they're not as readily available as other children. And I don't know about you, but generally the best way I found out about information in the past was through other parents. So what we try to do is identify through our own executive board and through other parents what opportunities there are out there for our children, and then ask people to come and speak to you about those so that you can decide for yourself whether or not it's something that you want to take advantage of. Okay, so Tim's going to give a presentation on his program, and then we'll hear from the public safety professionals.
Hello everybody, my name is Tim Enfield. I'm a senior at UMass Amherst and also the founder of the Think Alive Foundation. Real quick, I just got finished with a dinner with the folks from Easter Seals who are putting together the Don't Diss Disability campaign and their youth leadership network. It's really cool opportunities, really cool stuff. So take a look at that at easterseals.org for more information. It's really cool, and I am genuinely excited about learning more about that. But to my program, to our program, Think Alive is a nonprofit that is devoted to helping disabled youth achieve. It provides something called an achievement grant for youth under 21 to go pursue a goal or extracurricular activity that helps them take the next step forward, whether that's a big step or a little step. It all is relative to the individual. I've brought Dean Curran along, who is a fellow student, also a senior, and together we're working to expand the knowledge of what we can offer. The Achievement Grant, at its most core emphasis, provides up to $500, between $100 and $500 for lessons, equipment, and other expenses to compensate the parents and the individuals themselves for these extracurricular activities so that it doesn't cost the parent any money or the individual any money to participate. We're not actually a provider of services, but we facilitate and allow other people in a broader sense to participate in these activities in their local communities. Being that we're centered in Amherst, Mass, we've done a fair amount in Western Mass, and these activities have ranged from fencing, archery, horseback riding, music, you name it. We almost have surely sponsored somebody associated with that activity, and it is not limited by disability nor where you live. We're trying to put a big reach into the Boston networks, obviously, to help the Boston area youth and the people with disabilities in this community. But that's not it is not limited by where you live. The idea behind the grant is to facilitate personal development, personal growth through the one-on-one activities and through the group activities that are so common for people without disabilities, but that are often not as easy to access for people with disabilities. I myself have cerebral palsy, and one thing that really helped me get through my experience and really I feel grow beyond my disability was the idea of an individual goal each summer. My father and I and my uncle and I would set a goal each summer. Well, first it was to tie my shoes, then it became to bike and to swim and to participate on the basketball team, and then as I began to love basketball more, what became to play on JV, to play on varsity, to start on varsity. It got progressively more and more. And so the ideas behind this grant itself is to take a passion or a curiosity that your son or daughter might have and allow them to explore it so that they might feel the excitement of what achievement is and what that means. What we also provide are achievement grant presentations, which allow youth with disabilities to be honored in front of peers, in front of parents, in front of teachers, etc., and their local community to learn what it really feels like to get an award, the recognition that can maintain, and also the enthusiasm that might bring to their goal. So to keep it really simple, the Achievement Grant is a grant for extracurricular activities for youth under 21 who otherwise might not be able to do that. I'd like to open it to questions because I kept it at the most basic level for a reason. We like to customize everything we do to the individual, and I think that's most appropriate in this case. May I open it up for questions at this point?
You mentioned a lot of sports-related stuff.
Yeah. We actually don't provide academic help support at this time. We have a lot of networks into that, but we don't actually offer tutoring support. That's beyond the scope of the Achievement Grant. We're hoping to get to that point, but right now the Achievement Grant is limited to extracurriculars that are beyond the academic world, by and large. There are some exceptions, but generally that's the rule.
Can you explain the process for someone getting a grant?
Yeah, sure. So we have a basic application that's available online and that we can email or send out to you in hard copy. And basically, the application process is such that it's a simple 2-page application that requires some contact information, a budget about the goal, a little bit more about what the activity would really entail for the individual and what makes them enthusiastic about it. And that gets sent in to us. We review it. Usually takes between 2 to 3 weeks to render a decision, and our decision is based on the opportunity, the need, the passion of the individual, the relative difficulty for the individual, the idea that we can make a longer-term impact for the individuals, not just an 8-week lesson program, but what we like to do is incorporate 8, say, lessons and the equipment to go beyond that program. And it's a 50-point system that we have developed to take out bias based on location, disability, etc. And it's a really quick and easy process. About 50% of applicants at this point are accepted for the grant, and we believe strongly that, by and large, so long as it's within the $100 to $500 range, and that it's and that there's a dedicated need to that we don't just give a partial scholarship. We'll give the full scholarship that is asked. So, you know, and we're not just going to give you $100, for instance, if you ask for $200 and there's a need for the $200. That's a big deal, because I know a lot of issues can arise if, well, I have part of it, but then the rest of it's not there. But we usually try to turn everything around in 30 days, a 30-day application process that's a rolling application, so you can send it in whenever. We're going to take names and contact information to send out additional information and the application itself. We'll have it available online through the SpedPac website as well. But it's a fairly easy application that's available both in Spanish and English. Any other additional questions?
What's your website?
Thinkalive.org is the website, and the quick link to the application page is thinkalive/apply. /apply, APPLY on that.
Would it be possible to apply a grant for things like a camp or anything like that?
Yeah, generally, what we like to do in those situations is actually, a camp is definitely a possibility, but we prefer camps that are geared towards a specific activity as opposed to a week-long general outing camp. We have funded camps that have been multiple activities, but they usually have to be somewhat themed in nature. It's a case-by-case basis, but generally, yes. Yes?
Tim, congratulations on your senior year, by the way.
I have one more,
You
unfortunately.
also have on your website, is there a list of resources? So say, for example, someone's looking for a good place to request grants. Do you have places that are sort of
Not yet.
not yet?
Short answer, not yet. Long answer, we'll certainly help you to find some place. If we can work together on that, we'll find a good location. We like to have parental role in the process itself, so that there's a little buy-in for the parents, and that but we will certainly work with you to look at the options and decide what's best, because we've had a lot of experience in different activities that we might be able to offer a different perspective. Did you have a question up there? No? John?
I just wanted to bring up a point of interesting topic regarding some of these, your work. I think it's excellent, by the way. But my daughter went to a camp this year for autism, and one of the things they're doing now, they're melding fencing
Yep.
in with autism, and one of the the hub of it is right in West Roxbury. It's the Boston Fencing Club, and so it's a big deal, and apparently they're really branching out on it as well, and so hopefully we get you connected with those guys as well.
Just a word of note too. We are working with on an organizational level with some. We're working with the Perkins School for the Blind out here. We're also working with the Eric Carr Museum for picture book art. But these do not have any impact on the individual application process. So we are looking to expand individuals such as yourself applying independently, and even offering the resources for us to come in and learn more about different organizations that we can help support and create programs that would help the children there. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to come up to Dean or I shortly after the presentations themselves, and we'd be happy to take your information and learn more about what your additional questions might be or what you might have in mind.
And if you want more information, I can certainly take your email address or phone number, and we can follow up with you to make sure that you get the grant application mailed to you if you want that, so you don't have to deal with the website or get lost on the internet. It's very easy for us to just send it to you, and if you don't have email, we can give you a phone call, and we can give you advice directly on how to apply.
Where does the funding from come from?
Yeah, so we are a registered 501c3 organization. Primarily, our funding comes from private donations across the United States, actually. We had a big fundraiser about probably a year ago now, that we had a presentation at a Boston area school, and a group of women found us and wanted to host a dinner party for us, and that raised well over $4,000. So those simple little gestures have added up quite a bit, but primarily we work off of private donations and smaller grants from foundations. Anything additional? Not yet? All right.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Deb.